Welcome to Living the Empowered Life podcast, where we discuss all things empowering, encouraging and inspiring. My name is Yvonne Ellis. I'm an empowerment speaker, author, coach, trainer and founder of Yumi Empowerment, a company that facilitates the empowerment of people. I help people to make positive life change, live in their purpose and develop into their best version of self. I share stories, interviews, spiritual encouragement and actionable tips to empower, encourage and inspire you to live the life you want. So if you want to live the empowered life, join me each week on my podcast so we can take the journey together. Hello empowered lifers, guess who's back? If you don't know and you haven't listened to the podcast before, you're probably thinking, who are you? My name is Yvonne and I am your host of Living the Empowered Life podcast. I share on this podcast all things empowering, encouraging and inspiring. But to those of you who regularly listening into this podcast, you know exactly who it is. It's me. I know it's been a little bit of a while since I've done a podcast upload and I have a very good reason, guys. You know, over the last 3 years, I have been consistent with doing these uploads and I usually tell you most of the time in advance when I'm not going to do an episode. But boy, life just kind of got in the way and went all over the place because of my master's dissertation, and I'll share a bit more about that in a minute. But if you have not, whether you're a new listener or not a new listener, subscribe to this podcast or follow this podcast, please hit the follow or subscribe button on Google Podcasts, Spotify and Apple Podcasts so you don't miss the bi-weekly episodes. And once again, guys, I welcome you all. Thank you for taking your time to listen in. Now, this is a kind of a really weird upload because I'm uploading this for Valentine's Day. I was supposed to do an upload on Sunday the 11th, I think it was, but obviously, as I'm going to explain in a minute, I was unable to do that. But I just wanted to share with you why I wasn't able to do that. And that is because, as most of you know, if you follow me on social media, if you're not following me on social media, it's YEME_empowerment on social media or on my YouTube videos or wherever I post content. I did say I was doing a master's degree and I have been giving updates on my journey over the course of the last 2 years. And guys, I am so happy to share with you the good news that I have finally finished my master's degree. Friday, February the 9th was my last day. I handed in my dissertation and hopefully that is it. Now, I'm not really too confident that I have done it well. It was very, very difficult and I shared in a video that I uploaded on February the 12th a bit more about why doing the dissertation was difficult. So if you're on social media, especially on Instagram or YouTube, you'll find that video that I've shared today about my dissertation struggles. But yeah, it was very, very difficult. Over the last couple of weeks, I thought I was going to quit because it was so bad. And I just had to just put everything aside and just do that final push to give birth to the baby. It's actually been like giving birth, you know, this last few months. It has been really, really difficult, but I've done it, guys, and I've got so much out of it. I mean, Friday, I handed it in about 10 o'clock at night. And then Saturday, I slept on and off most of the day. Sunday was pretty much the same. And I'm taking it easy for the next few days because I deserve it. I have worked really, really hard over the last 2 years between working, between looking after a family, between all the different things that I've been doing. Working sometimes 6 days a week, 7 days a week, to study, to work, to do all these things, to put all this stuff in. So I am taking it easy. So that is the reason why, guys, and I do apologise for the lack of 2 episodes over the course of the last few weeks. But as you know, guys, I have a good reason for it and I'm hoping that it will pay off. So guys, as you know, February the 14th is Valentine's Day. To be honest with you, I'm not really that big on Valentine's Day. It's very commercialised and everything else, and some parts of it do feel a bit fake. But, you know, it's a good day as any, I suppose, for people who are not usually loving and kind and stuff, to be loving and kind to somebody. But in honour of Valentine's Day, I wanted to read to you a chapter out of my book, Exceptional, Not Expected. So I released this book in January 2023, which is over a year ago now, to encourage and empower, people, women, whoever needs encouragement or empowerment, that you can live an empowered life, or that they can live an empowered life. And, I had lots of feedback on the book, and actually I'm on the way to doing a second volume of this book, which I'm hoping to release probably sometime mid-year, depending on how everything goes. But in honour of Valentine's Day, I thought it'd be nice just to share with you an entry from my book. But before I do that, I want to share with you a couple of little quotes about Valentine's Day. And guys, please, if you can, do send in your quotes to me. I would love to share them with other members of the Living the Empowered Life community, because, we can all be empowered and encouraged and inspired by each other. I'm just somebody that provides a platform for it, but I'm just like you guys. I need encouragement, empowerment and inspiration. So it's good to be able to give that to each other. So if you're interested in sharing a quote, it doesn't matter if it's your own or it's somebody else's. You don't have to give your name if you don't want. Drop me a line. My email will be in the show notes. So guys, I'll share with you some quotes. So this quote is by Vincent van Gogh. It says, "Love is something eternal. The aspect may change, but not the essence." Who else do we have here? We have George Sand, and he says, "There is only one happiness in this life, to be loved, to love and be loved." That's actually really nice, isn't it? And this quote says here, I think they're trying to be funny, "Valentine's Day, a holiday that reminds you that if you don't have a special someone, you're alone." Oh, that's not really funny. That's not funny at all. And I think there is a lot of pressure on single people around Valentine's Day, because, it's all about love and being a couple and that. But, as I said, I find the day to be somewhat a little fake, but it is a nice time to try and do something nice for somebody that you care about, that you love. If it's coming from a real genuine place, then that is absolutely great. So guys, with all those quotes out of the way, I thought it'd be a good idea to have a Valentine inspired book reading, a chapter reading from my book, Exceptional, Not Expected. It is available on Amazon, and if you do a Google search, you'll find other places it's available on. But, Valentine's Day is always centered around doing things for other people and showing other people that you love them, and that's absolutely great. But one of the things that a lot of people struggle with is loving themselves and accepting themselves. So in honour of Valentine's Day, I wanted to do this book reading to encourage those of you out there who may struggle with accepting yourself or loving yourself. I want to share this with you, and I hope that it's something that is beneficial to your life and encourages you to accept and love yourself. The main thing you will need to be exceptional and not expected is to accept and love you. I know that for many people, this is not easy to do. The message society conveys to us through social media, advertisements, and other visual mediums is that if we have whatever it is they are selling us, then it will make us more desirable, better, accepted, and loved. But the truth is, all you need is you. Yes, all of you. Your flaws, your unique ways, just you. When you can accept and love yourself for who you are, then you have everything. I have battled for many years to accept and even like myself. My abuse left me feeling inadequate, less than, incomplete, and broken. It resulted in me pursuing unhealthy ways to try and accept myself. I sought validation from others. I focused on my appearance. Anything to try and seek self-love. However, I didn't realise until I was in my late 20s that it all starts from within. It meant I had to deal with my brokenness. It meant that instead of rejecting myself because of the shame of my abuse, I had to accept myself exactly how I was. It was not easy, but what I gained from accepting and loving myself as I was a sense of peace. I know that I'm not perfect. I know that I'm not the most attractive person on the planet. And I know that I'm not everyone's cup of tea. However, I know most importantly of all that I am loved by God and that I am fearfully and wonderfully made by the Creator of heaven and earth. He knows all the worst things about me and loves me with an everlasting love. That is more than enough. Yet at one point in my life, it was not more than enough for me, but taking the step to believe it until I felt it gave me reassurance and acceptance about myself. Everything else transcended from that God-given truth. It is still a journey, but I can say that I accept and love who I am. If you want to be exceptional and not expected, you must first accept yourself and then over time learn to like and love yourself. If you can do that, the pressure to conform to the pressures of society and the expectations of everyone else will decrease. If you struggle to accept and love yourself, I would recommend accept the unconditional love of God through His Son, Jesus Christ. Embrace yourself how you are, in the acknowledgement that you are still a work in progress. And show yourself grace, not condemnation. The most powerful gift you can give yourself is acceptance and love. If you cannot give yourself that, why would others around you, or those whose validation you are seeking, give that to you? Besides the grace of God, success and contentment in life will flow from this truth. You must be at peace with who you are. The Bible scripture, guys, that I want to share with you, that I wrote for this entry, is from Romans 5:8. But God demonstrates His own love for us, in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Guys, that was an entry from my book, Exceptional Not Expected. I will leave a link to the book in the show notes. It has been a lifelong journey for me, and I'm getting there slowly. And guys, if you're on that journey yourself or thinking about starting that journey, be encouraged. It's a lifelong work, it's a lifelong journey, but you can get there. You can get to a place where you start to feel that you are okay about yourself as a person and that you can accept and love yourself. So that is it, guys, for this episode. If you do celebrate Valentine's Day, I hope you have a great one, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.